Hello YouTube, and I decided to make a quick video about these whites Perry mock toe in black. There's just a few things I wanted to talk about. I've had these for 1 week. I got these last Sunday and today's Friday, so I wore them every day between those days. So they're officially 1 week old-ish, whatever. Yeah, I got them from UPS. Typical UPS. The box came like fucking destroyed. Looks like it came from Afghanistan. But no permanent damage. There was like a lot of scuffs and like dents on leather. Like it was underneath a very heavy object for a while. So like that heavy object was imprinted into the boot. It didn't come with 2 shoelaces. This is paracord that I had in the garage. They only sent me 1 shoelace. Emailed them on Monday, so 5 days ago. Today's Friday, after business hours, and they never emailed me back. I'm not sure if they're busy or they just don't give a fuck. So I'm leaning towards they don't give a fuck. So that's probably it. When they came in, I wish I would have taken pictures, or because I bought these for work, and you know the day I got them, it's the day I put them on. I wasn't trying to like review them or anything. I didn't even have that in mind. It was just an idea I came up with today. Not an idea I came up. I just decided to do it. I wouldn't say I have gripes with these boots. It's just like the more I experience them, the more I realize they're not worth $300. And the reason why I'm saying that is they're inconsistent and they were messy. You can see here like this stitching is like very close to the other one and narrows out. But this one is fine. This one, it gets pretty close to that one, narrows out again. This one over here, and sure you can see it, comes close to that one, it comes back out. I mean, I know this is made by a fucking human being out in wherever state, what was it? Spokane, Washington. Like, sure, I get it. It's human error. They're not gonna be perfect. Like, these differences aren't really unique, they're flaws, right? I'm not gonna say, oh, this boot has character based on this flaw. It's a flaw. Apart from that, every single corner, like here, up here, like on both boots, like there was thread that was like out down to here, like loose. So I had to like cut them off and burn them down with a like a lighter. You can see here maybe. Yeah, just like these parts right here. I had to cut them off and like burn them down. I'm not sure if that's like their procedure or like that's just what their thing is or whatever. But yeah, I just had to like clean up a lot of threads, and especially around this stitching welt right here, like the welt. Like it was very frayed. Like the thread was like either too tensed up or like there was too much tension on the thread and it was starting to like break on the, you know, the widest part. So I had to get a lighter and like almost every single one of these stitches had like frays and they were sticking straight up. So I had to like get a lighter and burn all those down. And it wasn't like, I wasn't like very nitpicky about it. Like if you lifted the boot up here like this, you could just like see like a little thing of basically like white grass, and you can see it very well or like very clearly. So I had to like burn all those down on both boots, by the way. And that's when I noticed these stitching, the welt stitching, they're also very inconsistent. And like I said, these are made by a human, so I'm not expecting perfection, but you do have to keep in mind this is a $300 boot. This is 3 times as expensive as, you know, whatever boot you may have or brought. I have a pair of Red Wings that I bought used because I didn't know if they were going to be worth the investment, and those ended up sucking, but whatever, that's a different story. But yeah, these welts, the stitching was very inconsistent. There's some places where it's like, you know, long stitch, long, short, and it's all over the place. So these stitchings are very inconsistent. Here's a super long one. You can see if we can focus. super long one, short one, short, and it just keeps trailing off, like alternating between super long and super short. So I'm guessing like whoever was, constructing these either, didn't have a tempo, or that's just how it is. Like I said, handmade boots, that's fine. I'm just used to like the machine, having perfect welts every fucking time. But that's fine. I'm a fucking scientist, so I pay a lot of attention to details. But I think that's just me. Another thing was the leather. It feels very rubbery. Like I have rubber boots for work because I work in a lab and I stand all day, so I need something that's chemical resistant. And that's not why I bought these boots. This leather actually feels really rubbery and it's very stiff. It's so stiff it did give me a lot of blisters. Not a lot of blisters. So it gave me 2 blisters on my heels because of the heel here. That was expected, but on their website they're like, oh, there's no break-in period, but you definitely do have to break these in. They're very stiff. They're very uncomfortable at first, extremely uncomfortable. To the point where I was like second guessing myself whether or not I got the right size, and I did. These are a 10D, 10D, and I wear a 10D in almost everything. I wear 10D shoes and I wear 10D boots. I know there should have been like a sizing like difference there, but I guess it's just not how I work. Because I have Thorogoods too, that I got gifted, and those are 10D and they fit perfectly. So I was expecting these to be about the same, but these are very narrow. This is a D standard size, and I couldn't wear my regular boot socks, like the thick boot socks with these, so I had to go down to like a dress sock, like the thinner ones, to break these in. But I was able to fit my boot socks in here, but that was like after a few days of constant use to break them in and maybe stretch out this section of the leather. So yeah, just be prepared for that if you are interested in these boots. I will say these, after wearing them for a whole week, I wouldn't say they're worth like $300, because right now they're $289 plus tax plus shipping, whatever. It definitely feels like a $200 boot. Like this is what I would expect from Thursday, which that's a fucking can of worms. I bought 3 Thursday boots, all 10D, and they all fit very differently. There's one I couldn't even fit my shoe in. One of them was too big. The middle one was like just right. It was like the fucking the porridge story. It was weird, and they wouldn't take any of them back. I got a pretty good raise the other days, or like a few weeks ago, so I splurged and got myself some nice boots. So I had to sell them because I just couldn't wear them, and they're all the same size. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, in review, the leather feels very rubbery, very stiff, very shiny. I'm not sure if I like that, because it just looks like I'm wearing like rubber. Inconsistent stitching, especially here and here, and there's like a few spots over here where it's just like double the size of the previous one. So like I said, for $300 and a human making this, that's fine. But that's just all they are. They're fine. Their customer service, I don't even know if they have any. Like I said, I got sent 1 shoelace instead of 2, so I had to make my own shoelaces. That was kind of a bummer, especially after they didn't email me back after 5 whole days. But yeah, I'm just a nitpicky person. I look at the small details, and these boots just had a lot of small details that ultimately accrued to me not having them in a favorable light. It's just, it's just an okay boot. You know, I wouldn't consider these work boots just because, like, I don't know. These are just very casual work boots, like the Carhartt boots that you see around. But I think that'll be fine for what I need them to. I work in a lab and I stand and walk around all day. You know, lab station to computer and stuff like that. Sometimes go to the warehouse. Oh, these are not chemical resistant, by the way. I dropped a little drop of methanol here, right here. If you can see that little white smudge. Yeah, there. And the dye came off. Like, I dripped a little bit, and then I got a little paper towel, and the black dye just went into the paper towel. So these are not chemical resistant, or at least not methanol resistant. I did splash a little bit of acetonitrile somewhere in this toe area, and I think it evaporated before I even got to the leather, but that's fine. Like I said, I wasn't expecting these to be chemical resistant. So let's see if I can think of anything else. Oh, so the inside, like here and here, the tongue goes down, and there's like a little section here underneath here, but in the inside of the boot that like bulges out, that will like dig into your fucking foot like nobody's fucking business. And the only way to fix that, it's to get over it, because you already paid $300. So be on the lookout for that too. So one thing I feel like is this area right here is like, I feel like that's gonna come off like pretty easily. Like if I tried right now, I can just like rip this off. I don't like that. I feel like this is definitely the weak spot right here on both sides of both boots. It just feels like it's like 2 or 3 threads holding it together. So I wouldn't consider, that's why, like, that's one of the portions why I don't consider this a work boot, is just because like you can definitely tell how delicate these are going to be. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Yeah. The sole's already wearing out over here, but that's just like shitty Vibram wedge soles. I really hope I don't get to the point where it's just like this stupid looking rounding off of the heel. I don't think I walk like that. I haven't worn like a wedge down to that extreme yet. But you know, I don't know if I'm even keeping these boots. It's well past the return, because I don't think they accept anything with a crease or anything. They're not gonna want like a boot that doesn't have the original shoelaces, especially after that. But yeah, I might do another update review on these. Oh, on the leather, apparently the distressed leather and the Red Dog also feel like pretty different from this. The Red Dog looks like it's like the same like feel of the black one, but the distressed leather apparently feels like a little more like leather. But that's the only thing I would say about this leather is, you know, be prepared to feel like you're wearing leather or rubber boots, just because that's how it feels. It doesn't feel like leather, but I think that's just like how they process the leather and not reagents, but but how they process the leather basically. So yeah, I might do a month update, maybe a few months update. I don't know, depends on if I keep wearing these boots or not. I was gonna try and splurge on black Thorogoods, but then again, I do hate Thorogoods. So we'll see. I might just stick with like Sorels or something, but that's it for now.